Okay, so this one is for you, Priya. We will get started in Vajrasana position, Thunderbolt. Make sure you have your usual props, a blanket and a pair of blocks. Go ahead and find your seat and then slowly close down the eyes. Taking a moment here to stack the spine, head over shoulders, shoulders over our hips. Palms resting on our thighs. We will begin with 3 rounds of cleansing breaths here. In through the nose and big sigh out. 2 more with your own breath. Inhale. Let it all go. 1 more. Sealing the lips from the next breath. We begin to activate our Ujjayi breath, constricting the back of the throat. Finding that deep sound, ocean breath. Taking a moment to quickly scan the body, making sure we are not holding any tension anywhere. The breath is able to flow freely in and out. Knowing that this is your time. There's nowhere we have to be, nothing to do. We're doing exactly what you're supposed to. Using the breath to arrive in this moment into your practice. On the next inhale, take the arms up overhead. Let the palms touch, bring them in front of your heart on the exhale. Anjali Mudra, thumbs pressing into our sternum. We shine across our heart, open collarbones. Find an intention for our practice. Could be something simple, just to open the body or have fun. Or maybe an intention of gratitude. On the next breath, seal your intention. Full inhale and exhale. Slowly blink the eyes open. We will come into our tabletop position. So hands and knees, if you feel the need to bring a blanket to cushion your knees, go ahead and find it. Hands as wide as the shoulders or mat width apart. Spread the fingers nice and wide here. Take a peek at your legs. The knees should be hip width apart, and either we are on tops of our feet or we curl the toes. Either way is the lower part of your legs, ankles should be hiding behind the thighs. So knees and ankles in line with each other. On the inhale, drop the belly, chest, gaze moves forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, separate your shoulder blades, round the spine. Maybe the gaze shifts towards our thighs. Few more rounds with your breath. Inhale, drop the belly, soften the elbows. Exhale, round. Feeling the stretch in our front body, in our cow pose right here. Exhale, tuck the belly in, feel that stretch in your back body. Really push the earth away. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come back to neutral spine and then curl the toes if they are not. Begin to round your spine, find that cat back in the lower and the middle back. Keep the neck nice and long, gaze between your hands, and then lift the knees just an inch off the floor. Activating the core, right, early in our practice. Make sure elbows are slightly soft here, so we are not locking out. We're really pushing the earth away. You should really feel this. One more breath. And then lower the knees down. Bring the knees to touch and come to sit on your heels. Make sure the soles of the feet are nice and stretchy here. So we lean back a little, still stacking the spine. Arms reach up. Inhale. Exhale, hug the inner thighs as you twist open to the right side. Soft elbows, relaxed shoulders. Same side 2 more times. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, twist to the side. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Pause here. Come on your knees. Right hand finds right hamstring. Left arm goes up. Find a little twist and back right here. Make sure hips are square, so hip points are facing forward. You don't have to yank your neck to look back. You can always drop your gaze down. One more breath. Lengthen to the left side. And then go ahead and come back to sit on your heels. Other side. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, we twist. 2 more times. Inhale, feel free to close down the eyes here. Exhale, twist. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Pausing here, reaching in opposite directions with both hands without locking out the elbows or extending the shoulders too much. And then left hand on left hamstring, we come on our knees, take a little twist and a back bend. One more breath. And release. Release. Awesome. We'll come in Vajrasana for our side bends. Now I'm going to look or turn towards the camera. Bring your right hand by your side, left arm reaches up, walk the right fingers away from you, bend the right elbow and take the left arm up and over. Make sure the hips are even, so we're not leaning towards the right side body. Then you can always have softness in your left elbow. If the neck allows, the gaze can shift up. And then really drawing that left rib back, right rib forward. Feeling that stretch in our left side body all the way down from our waist to our left fingertips. Yeah, it gets a little hard to breathe here. One more breath. Other side, left hand comes by our side. Walk the hands out depending on how open we are in our side body. Right arm goes up and over, and again same options here. And you'll notice that there is more space on one side. It's common for most of us. So just accepting that space, whether you're more open or tight on this side. Make sure left shoulder is away from the ear and relaxed. And breathe. Last round. Inhale fully. And exhale. Alright, lower the hand out. We come back into our tabletop position. Hands and knees. Shake out the hips a little. Alright. Wrist under our shoulders, knees under our hips. Curl the toes. Extend the right leg behind you. Point the right toes. Make sure low spine is nice and neutral, so we don't want to arch. Tuck that tailbone. For that, if the right leg comes down, that's totally cool. Make sure weight is evenly divided in both hands. Tendency is to lean into the left hand. Inhale here. Exhale, round the spine. Bring your knee towards your nose. Inhale, extend, flat back. Gaze between our hands. Exhale, round. Push the mat away with your hands. Inhale, we extend. Exhale. This is our core. Inhale, extend again. And exhale. Pause here, really trying to draw that knee forward, pushing belly to spine, right heel towards the right glute, feel it in your right hamstring, and then extend the leg behind. Option to stay here, option to lift the left arm to reach forward into our balancing table. If this feels enough, stay here. If you are looking for a bind, bend the right knee, grab the foot, and then clasp it. Arching the spine. If it's hard to grab the foot, you can always grab a strap or a towel to close that gap. Minding that we are not collapsing on our right wrist, pushing away. Use the strength of that right shoulder. One more breath. Back to our balancing table, back to our table. Then we shake the hips side to side again. Nice. Other side. Curling the toes. Left leg extends. Closing the hip. Inhale here. Exhale, we round the spine. Inhale, we extend. Exhale, we round. Couple of more. Last one. Inhale, we extend. Exhale, push that knee forward, really drawing that left heel towards our left glute, left wrist pointing. Space between our shoulder blades. One more breath. And then extend the leg behind you. Option to add the opposite arm for our balancing table. Right bicep in line with our right ear. And then option to bind here. Micro bending left elbow. Shoulders square towards the mat. The right hand and left foot press into each other. One more breath. Release the foot, balancing table, and then release the hands. Shake it out. Let's just take a couple of rounds of cat and cow to cleanse this out. Inhale, we arch the spine, squeeze those shoulder blades. Exhale, round. One more, just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Alright, come back to neutral spine, curl the toes if they are not, and then we'll go for that hover table one more round. Right, getting into our core here. Alright, tuck the tailbone, separate those shoulder blades, push the top of the shoulders away from the ears. We don't want to crunch up, and then soften in those elbows, spread the fingers nice and wide, and then lift the knees. When done right, this feels like a lot of work. Every time you exhale, really push that belly to spine to feel it more in your core. One more breath. And then walk the left foot towards the left edge of the mat, right towards the right edge of the mat. Keep the same alignment in your upper body as we had in our hover table. We are in our plank pose. Tucking the tailbone, pushing the earth away. One more breath. Should really feel the heat. And then see if you can lower on your forearms without lowering the knees. Elbows are as wide as the shoulders. Palms can either touch or they can be in line with your elbows too. Tuck the tailbone, push the earth away. Same protraction in our shoulders. If it becomes hard to breathe, you are doing the work. I'm here with you. One more breath. Lower the knees down. Well-deserved child pose. Our first child pose. Big toes touch, knees widen. Go ahead and extend the arms out. Forehead can be on the mat or on a block. We want to try our best to really reach those hips towards the heels. If there's a lot of gap between your hips and your heels, you might want to slide a block under the forehead or just stack your palms to elevate the head. Two more breaths here. Alright, lift the forehead and then we'll step the right foot outside the right hand. We are in a lizard lunge here, so left knee towards the left edge of the mat, right foot towards the right side, both hands inside the foot. We're just gonna make some hip circles here. Again, good idea to slide a blanket under the left knee to give it cushion. And then switch direction. Opening the left psoas, feel it in your right hamstring. One more. And then pause here. Heel to the right foot to come a little bit towards the center of the mat. Right hand goes outside the right foot. We are in our low lunge legs, and then revolve your lunge here. Right arm reaches up. Make sure the right knee doesn't splay to the side. Always slide a block under the left hand. And again, soft elbows here. Shoulders away from the ears. Finding that twist in our upper body, our ribs, and not the hips. Hips stay neutral. One more breath. All right. Lower the right hand down. We'll come up into a low lunge. So either you can just take your arms overhead, or you can first place your hands on your thighs. Find a little stability here, and then take the arms up. If this seems too hard, you can always bring that left knee forward. Gives you a little more stability. Keep the tailbone tucked. Inhale here. Exhale, let's open the heart. Cactus out the arms. Maybe the gaze lifts up. Inhale, ribs in, belly in. Palms face each other. Exhale, squeeze, palms face forward. One more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, arms reach up again. Exhale, lower the hands down. We'll go into our Ardha Dvanasana, half split. Good idea to grab those blocks. Bring the blocks under your shoulders to bring the floor close to you, and then straighten out the front leg. Keep the front toes grounded initially, and you would realize that you can't straighten the front leg completely, totally fine. We are focusing on the right front of the ankle. You should feel it. All right, rebend that knee a little, crawl those right toes forward, and then straighten the front leg again. This time curling the toes. For stability, you can always curl the back toes. Make sure hips are even and we are not leaning into the left side body. And do your best to curl those front toes as much as you can. Folding into the front leg. Avoiding blocking out the right knee. Maybe closing down the eyes, sending that breath into your right hamstring. One more breath. All right, rebend the knee. Slide that front heel in, listen up. Move the blocks forward. Get them out of your way. Bring both hands inside the foot. We are transitioning into our plank pose. Lift the back knee, hop it in a little, puff up the upper back as if you're about to plank, and then reverse knee to elbow. Maybe the right knee will touch the right tricep, maybe it will not. Wherever you are, really draw that right heel towards the right glute, and then step the right foot back. Plank pose here. A star plank, hands and feet as wide as the mat gives us more stability. One more breath. All right, lower the knees down. Other side, left foot steps outside the left hand. Take your time to find your lizard lunge here. Right knee goes a little to the right side of the mat, and left foot to the left edge of the mat. Hands come down. Hands can always come on blocks. And then begin moving those hips. This feels good. And then switch direction. Let that breath flow freely. One more. Pause here for a beat. And then heel to that left foot a little towards the center of the mat. Right hand grounds inside the left foot. Left arm reaches up. Gaze can move up if the neck allows, or gaze can be down. Hug that left knee towards the midline. Same thing here. Avoid locking out in the elbows. When you really soften that left elbow, that top arm elbow, you'll see you have more room, like a deeper stretch happening in the front of the left shoulder, your pecs, your anterior deltoids. One more breath. Lower the hand down. We will come into our low lunge. So hands can come on the left thigh and then overhead. Pause here. Make sure you're not pushing into the front of your left toes. Draw that left heel back a little. Inhale here, exhale, cactus out the arms. Inhale, palms face each other, nip those ribs in. Exhale, opening the heart. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, arms reach up again. Exhale, lower the hands and then find your blocks. Straighten out the front leg. So the block should be under the shoulders to give you most stability. Oh, you have to lower the front toes down for our first stretch. Really feeling it in the front of the left ankle. One more breath. Rebend the knee, crawl those left toes forward a little and then straighten the front leg. This time lifting the toes, folding here, doing our best to keep the back flat, especially the low part of our spine. Thinking of that cow spine, squeezing the shoulders a little, leading with our heart. What we do in all our folds. The leg might feel shaky. Finding that sweet spot. One more breath. Rebend the knee, slide that heel in a little, move the blocks out of your way again. Bring both hands inside the foot. You might want to heel to that left foot to the side. Reverse knee to elbow on this side. So we lift the right knee, maybe hop that right foot in a little, puff up the back as if you're about to go in your plank. So get those shoulders going and then lift the left foot off the mat. Really bending that left knee and then pushing the earth away. Micro bend in the elbows. You'll hear me say that like a broken record. Just want to get the muscles to work and not the joints. And then plank pose. So at this point, if you feel nice and warmed up and strong, you can always bring your feet hip width apart in your traditional plank. One more breath. And then lower the knees down. Let's stretch out the wrist a bit. So Vajrasana. Roll out the wrist. And again, we don't have to straighten the arms too much. I see that all the time. Relax the shoulders, soften the elbows. We're just trying to get some movement in our wrist. And then the other way. Alright. Alright. Tight fist. Those of you who train with me know that this is my go-to wrist stretches. Bend the fingers, make a tight fist, like super tight, and then slowly release. And one more time, slow clasp, really tight as you can, and then slow release. And then as fast as you can, like you're flicking water off your fingers. Maybe close down the eyes for 5, as fast as you can. 4, 3, 2, and relax. Shake it out. Bring the hands by your side, palms face up. Just putting some weight in our wrist. You probably feel the stretch in your forearms. If this seems okay and you feel like you can go deeper, you can walk your hands out. As long as the elbows don't bend, you're fine. When the elbows begin to bend, which should be somewhere here for me, I've gone too far, so I back off. And release. Shake it out. Alright, we'll come to the top of the mat into our chair pose, Utkatasana, get into some legs. So we'll transition between two poses, a chair and a stork pose, our one-legged mountain. Hands can be on hips or hands can be in front of our heart. I'll show you both variations. Feet hip width apart, good for balance. In a traditional chair, the feet are together. So we'll bring the feet hip width apart, hands on our hips, lower your seat down. Make sure that the low back is nice and flat, so no arching. You just want to tuck that tailbone under. And when you look down, peek, you can see your toes. All right, bring your hands in front of your heart. You decide how low you want to go. So you could be here, you could be here, or you could be here. Inhale here, exhale, lift that left foot off the mat. Again, always, this is an option, hands can be on hips. And again, down again, chair, and exhale, other side. Keep going, keep transitioning. It's nice to look down when you place the foot so that you know where it needs to be, where it needs to land. Chair again, and other side. You can always hold on to a wall if balance is not your thing today. And again. All right, chair again, our awkward chair, where feet are hip width apart, and then hands come up in our full expression of our chair, Utkatasana. Gaze is forward, relax the top of the shoulders down. I like to keep my hands nice and wide to give my shoulders a lot of space. Keep that tailbone tucking under, make it core work. One more breath. And then bring the hands in front of your heart. Sit a little low for one more. And then lift the left foot up. We are in our stork. Make sure you're not leaning back here. Back is nice and flat. And then we try to lift the left knee as high as we can while pushing the right thigh back in space. Option to stay here. This could be enough today. Or place the right hand outside the right thigh. Left arm can go back. One more breath. Come back center, hands in front of your heart. Oops. And then we'll transition into our high lunge. Take a big step back. Right. And then hands come up. So front knee is stacking over the front ankle. There can be a slight bend in the back knee. Relax the top of the shoulders down. Palms face each other. We externally rotate the shoulders, so pinky side of the fingers turn in a little. Gaze forward. You always have the option of lowering the arms here or here. All right, some movement here. Inhale, lower the back knee down, almost tapping the mat. Exhale, rise up. Maintain that bend in the front knee down. Exhale, rise up. Two more. Exhale, rise up. Last one, pause here. Make sure you're not pushing in the front toes. It should be nice and free there. Draw that right heel back in space. One more breath. And then lower the hands to frame the front foot. You can lower the back knee down just for a moment. And then grab the blocks, lift that back knee up. We'll straighten the front leg. Again, blocks come under our shoulders. We are in this long pyramid Parsvottanasana. Pressing down through the toes, right toes. Pushing that left heel into the mat to get into that back calf. And then draw that right hip back, left hip forward to square out the hips. And energetically move that right heel towards the back of the mat. Really pressing down through that right big toe. One more breath. All right, rebend the front knee. Now lower the back knee down. We'll go for our dragon pose here. So bring both blocks inside the foot. Heel to the right foot towards the right edge of the mat. Maybe a cushion under the left knee. We are going to stack our blocks and place our forearms on that. We'll go into our dragon pose here, our twist. So point those right toes at an angle, maybe like a 30-degree angle. Lift the inner arch of the right foot. Left forearm comes parallel to the short end of the mat. You decide how much height you want here. 1 block, 2 blocks, no block. And then place the right hand on the right inner thigh and rotate your torso. Just being mindful of how the left shoulder is. We don't want to collapse in that. Notice where you feel the stretch, the right hip, the left psoas. And we'll add an element again, that's an option. If you have a strap or a towel or a scarf, you can use that to bring that left foot towards the right hand. Or if you have long arms like me, just grab the foot. Open that right shoulder, drop those hips down again. Turning the chest towards the sky. One more breath. Release the foot, unwind, and then we will just step that right foot back. Take a moment in our Vajrasana. Just close down the eyes for a couple of breaths. Let's cleanse out the breath here. In through the nose and big sigh out. One more. And let go of something. Bring the eyes open, move the blocks to the side, and we'll go on the other leg. So we come into our chair pose. Just keeping the blocks in the front, keeping them handy. Feet hip width apart, hands come in front of our heart. Tuck that tailbone as you descend, bringing your hips towards the heels. So this is like a high chair. As long as I can see my toes, can't in these flare pants, but you know what I mean. So as long as you can see your toes, you're feeling nice and strong in our quads. We have enough room in our spine. You can continue to descend here. All right, inhale here. We'll start with that marching, transitioning from chair to our stork. Maybe we move a little bit quicker. You know what to do. Inhale, chair. Just one more time each side. And chair again. Last time, chair. Full expression. Reach those arms up. Draw those shoulder blades down towards the spine, low spine. Fingers reaching up, shoulders away from the ears. Feel that heat in your quads. One more breath. Hands in front of our heart. This time, the right foot comes off the mat. Again, this could be enough today. Or if you're looking for a little more challenge, a little twist, left hand hooks outside the right knee, right arm reaches back. Again, you can keep your gaze forward for balance or turn the gaze towards the right side of your space or towards the back thumb, which is the hardest. Keep drawing that left hip back, right hip forward. Keep the hips square. And feeling the shakiness. If we fall off balance, we just come back in. Totally fine. Bring both hands in front of your heart, still in stork. And then step the right foot back to find your high lunge. Front knee stacks above the ankle. We square out the hips. Left hip draws back, right hip forward, and arms reach up. You decide how low you want to go. This could be a starting position. You could go deeper, you could be higher. We do our best to keep the front thigh parallel to the ground. All right, hands can be up, hands can be here, hands can be here for those knee dips. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale, bend that back knee, roll forward on those right toes. Exhale, push that right heel back. Feel that stretch in your right psoas. Two more, inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale, stay here for the exhale. Again, pay attention to your left toes. Are you pressing forward into them? Then nice and relaxed. One more breath. Hands frame the front foot on blocks or on the mat. Back knee can always come down to get a little breather. And then we straighten out the front leg for our long pyramid Parshvottanasana. Pushing that right heel into the mat and left toes down. Are we leaning into the left side? If we are, let's shift the weight a little to the right side. I just caught myself doing that. So finding that awareness of where the body is and where we want it to be in a specific pose. One more breath. Rebend the front knee, lower the back knee down. We'll go into our lizard. So if you use blanket on the other side, go ahead and grab it. Place it under your right knee. Stack your blocks. And then lower the forearms down. We go all passive here. Notice how much stretch you feel in the front of the right leg. If you feel like you can go deeper, you can always slide that right knee back. As long as the front knee is stacking above the front ankle, we are good. We don't want to be here. We want to keep those hips pressing forward and down. All right, dragon. Right forearm comes parallel to the short end of the mat. Angle the left foot, lift the inner arch of the left foot, all that good stuff on this side. Right hand really presses into that right inner thigh to use that as a leverage to rotate that chest, your torso. Maybe we look up. This is intense. Just breathe through it. Again, this could be enough. If you want to go a little deeper, lean back, see if you can grab the back foot. We always want to be off our knee. So we are off our right knee cap. Don't feel all that funny stuff in the knee joint. It's nice, intense quad stretch, psoas stretch, hip stretch. Back is still here. One more breath. And then release, release. All done. Alrighty. Vajrasana. Move the props out of your way. Shake out the hips a little. Roll onto one side. Bring the legs out in front of you. Grab that blanket, place it at the back of the mat, and slowly lower yourself down. Making sure shoulders are off your blanket. Draw the knees to chest into your Vayu Muktasana. Chin is tucked here. Option to rock side to side. I just automatically start doing that without realizing. So you can do that too. Feels good in the low spine. Come back center. We'll go into our happy baby. So hands can stay where they are. Soles of the feet can move up to face the sky. And you're drawing those inner thighs away from each other. This could be enough. If you want to go deeper, you can grab your shins, your ankles, or the outer edge of your feet. As long as the shoulder blades are grounded and the lowest part of your spine is in contact with the mat. So we don't want to grab the foot and lift the low spine. As long as it's grounded, we can grab the foot. And again, option to rock here, like a happy baby, Anand Balasana, really plugging those shoulder blades down into the mat. Come back center, and then release the foot. Lower the feet down. We'll finish with a twist here. So extend the left leg nice and long. Scoop the hips to the right side of the mat. And bring the right leg over to the left. Left hand can guide the right leg down. Right hand into cactus arm, or you can tee out the arm. Option to keep the head back center. Option to turn the head towards the right shoulder. These are all options. And we do our best to keep those right shoulder blades grounded. Closing down the eyes here. Slowing down the breath. Still keeping it audible. And over to the other side. Bend the left knee, extend the right, scoot the hips over to the left side of the mat, and bring the left leg over. One more breath. Come back center. Bend both knees, draw them to your chest, wrap your hands around your shins. Lift the head up, bring your nose towards the knees towards the nose. Get as compact as you can. Inhale. And exhale, lower the head down. Extend the legs, setting up for our final pose. Shavasana. An option to stay here as long as you want. I'm forever grateful to you for letting me guide you through today's practice. I'll see you next time. Namaste.